Good evening. My name is Tamani Wandani. I'm the founder of the Black Owned Nation movement. I want to share a brief video clip and then a brief presentation about what we are actually organizing our organization to do, which is launch our second national Black Gold leadership election, by which we find Black people from around the country who want to be a part of something that really matters and help us build a nation within this nation as we seek to do our own thing and move our own people forward. To do that, we have to become serious and more focused on the tasks at hand, because there's so much work to be done and we're so far behind. So I want to play a brief movie clip from the movie The Matrix, which is one of my favorite movies, because this clip, it describes accurately 100% one of our greatest problems, which is we're distracted, and we're distracted on purpose, which keeps us from focusing on what we should be focusing on. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and then we're going to watch this brief clip. I'm going to come back and do a brief presentation.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was... Look again. Freeze it. This isn't the Matrix?
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
What are they?
Sentient programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent.
So we have Morpheus. If you haven't seen the movie, Morpheus is the black guy, Lawrence Fishburne, and Neo having a conversation about the importance of saving people from the Matrix, the dangers of the Matrix in people not being awake, not being fully aware, not being unplugged from the system that is controlling the minds of the people. And we see that every day, all day, not just here in America, but around the world, a system that has people thinking reality is one thing when it's actually something completely different. So Morpheus is having this very, very, very important conversation with Neo, but Neo gets distracted by this woman in the red dress who draws his attention, which means he's not listening to Morpheus, who's talking about something that's very important that deals with his survival and survival of their people, of their race, the human race, because Neo gets sidetracked with this woman. So I'm going to share a brief presentation with you and explain to you how we are also distracted, and also go into detail as it relates to what we're distracted from. So give me a quick second to share my screen. You should be able to see it now. So our lady in the red dress, what we are distracted by. We're distracted by online drama and gossip, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours spent researching issues in the Black community, which is always good. But we take it overboard in that we spend too much time on it. You look at some of the videos that are being produced, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And that's the actual show. So you know the prep time is much more than this. We spend a lot of time, we get distracted by online drama and gossip. We also get distracted by the acquisition of trinkets, toys, and unnecessary things. We are relentlessly pursuing the acquisition of stuff. And the stuff doesn't mean anything. It's just stuff, which we Black people, we go after that, these items, because we want people to think that we have more than we actually do. So we waste a lot of time and we're distracted by the acquisition of stuff. We are distracted by individual accomplishment, the I, me, my way of thinking at the expense of the group. Just thinking about yourself as opposed to the us, our, we way of thinking, which is a group mentality. We got to understand that what we are engaged in is a team sport. This fight for power that everybody else is having except us, because we're distracted, is a team sport. And we're losing for multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons we're losing is because our minds aren't free. We're not thinking about we. We're not thinking about us, our, we as a group, as a tribe, as a nation. We're thinking as individuals, I, me, my, which is a losing equation. And one of the reasons why we continue to lose, because we're not thinking as a group, we're not thinking as a nation, we're thinking as individuals. Trying to run from our issues, problems, our powerless reality and enemies. You're not going to run from white people. Wherever you go, they are there, or their system is there. So if we don't spend time focusing on fixing our situation as it exists right now, you're not going to run from it. You're not going to run from white supremacy. You're not going to run from those that are controlling the world. Your best bet is to focus on what you can do to control spaces within that system, which is very possible because you're not going to be able to run from white people. We're also distracted by the acquisition of freedom papers or some freedom status. A lot of our people think that you're going to get a particular status given to you by a court that's funded by the United States, by the way, so that white people will leave you alone. White people don't care about sovereign nations. White people don't care about geographic borders. America assassinates heads of state. People who are in other countries with geographic borders, who have their own military, their own government, their own culture. America doesn't care. So you're not going to get some freedom papers or some status of existence that's going to have white people leave you alone, because power doesn't work that way. And America has proven that they don't care about the sovereign status of any nation. We also get distracted by putting all of our eggs in the you owe us money basket and thinking you're going to get it. I believe, as the leaders, supporters, and members of the Black Gold Nation believes, we believe in reparations, but we don't believe we're going to get it by asking for it or demanding it. We believe we're only going to get it if we mobilize and organize ourselves to take it, because that's how power works. Power is never given, power is always taken, and power only respects power. So the only way we're going to get what we're owed is if we organize, mobilize, study, understand, learn, and train ourselves to take it, because nothing has ever been given to Black people and nothing ever will be given to Black people. If we want it, we have to go get it, take it, and then do every single thing we need to do to protect it. And lastly, we are distracted by, well, not lastly, but the last thing on this particular slide, we are distracted by religiosity, thinking that someone else is going to take care of all these problems that we have. Well, not all these problems, take care of all these symptoms of all these issues that we have. We only have two main problems: white supremacy and our ability to stop it, because we don't have power. So we're distracted by spending so much time, energy, and effort into a belief system that will have us sit back and wait for someone else to come back and take care of it for us. And of course, that's never going to happen because given everything we've been through, they should have already taken care of it. So that is what we are distracted by. Those are some of the major things that our people do day after day, after day, after day, after day, after week, after week, after week, after month, after year, after year. Our entire lives is spent engaged in these kinds of activities that keeps us distracted. And what we are distracted from is having our own stuff so we can do our own thing. We are distracted from having our own political machine by which we can prepare our people to run for office, win office, and so that we can run cities. If we don't control municipal space in this country and other places around the world, we're always going to be in a second-class status of existence. We are distracted from our own mobilization and organization system so that we can galvanize our people. Again, anything we want, we can have it, but we have to prepare ourselves to go take it. And you can't take it if you're not mobilized and organized. Mobilize and organize. We are also distracted from our own spiritual systems that we absolutely must have so we can develop and create a new counterculture that's raising a new kind of African child, that's raising and developing a new kind of adult that's preparing our people to exist in a world by which we don't have power, so that we can organize ourselves to go get it. Without our own spiritual systems, again, we will never be whole, and we will never have what we're supposed to have, because we're not spiritually intact with ourselves, a higher power, and other Black people. We are distracted from having our own educational system that prepares our children for the acquisition, usage, and expansion of power. We are never going to win if we continually send our children to be educated or indoctrinated, because it's not really education, by our oppressor. We will never win by sending our children to institutions that are ran by people who have proven that they don't care about us. So we're distracted from having our own educational system, which of course we absolutely need. We are also distracted from our own agricultural, economic, and institutional systems, so that we can feed ourselves, employ ourselves, and of course, educate and train ourselves. No one is going to give us power in any arena. If we want that power, which we absolutely must have, again, we have to mobilize and organize ourselves to take it, but we can't do that because we're so distracted with everything that was on the previous slide. We're distracted from our own media, marketing, and PR systems. We have to have our own media and marketing enterprises by which we can report the news as we see it, report the news as it affects us, and of course, change our image and project our reality to our people, so that our people get the truth and the reality that we want them to have, as opposed to the non-truth and the non-reality, or the quote-unquote reality, that the mainstream media and these other outlets give our people. We got to have our own business connections with African nations and Africans in the diaspora, because our unity is one of our greatest weapons to push back against everything that's happening to us. But of course, we're not doing that because we're distracted with everything that was on the previous slide. And of course, we're distracted from having all of this, which we need so that we do not become a permanent underclass on this planet. And as we seek to obtain all of this stuff, we absolutely must have systems in place by which we can protect and secure all of it. Because every single thing we've ever done as a people, no matter where we are on this planet, whenever there's been a Black individual or a Black group that step up to do a very good and righteous thing for Black people, that group, that entity has been targeted for exile, incarceration, and assassination. That is simply what happens. So it's not a matter of if what we build is going to be targeted for destruction, is when and how, which is why we absolutely must have security systems on multiple levels in multiple spheres of existence, so that anything we build, we can protect. And of course, there's so much more that we're distracted from, but these are just some of the main things that we are distracted from, which is everything that was on that first slide. We don't have time for these distractions. If we do not want to become a permanent underclass in the country that our people built, we have to get focused. And we can't get focused if we're constantly distracted by things that don't matter. So we need national leadership that's going to keep us focused, keep our eyes on the prize, if you will, in all the different ways by which we are being attacked and destroyed. We will never be able to do that if we're constantly distracted by things that don't matter. And I'm not saying that the things on the first slide are necessarily bad or unnecessary, or we shouldn't have to an extent. But I'm saying we spend so much time on that stuff that as a group, we are losing. We spend so much time on that stuff that as a group, we are doing nothing to prepare a way for our children. We spend so much time on those items on that first slide that we are literally placing ourselves on a path to become a permanent underclass and a permanent low-class caste system that America is going to have, because we're doing nothing to ensure it doesn't happen. So the Black-owned nation, of course, we don't want that to happen. So we're having our second national Black Gold leadership election, by which we are saying to Black people, we're trying to build something that matters for Black people. We're not trying to be distracted by all that other stuff. We're trying to be focused on the second slide, because the second slide is what we need to build and grow in this country and around the world. We can't do that on our own. We need Black people who understand it, Black people who get it, Black people who have expertise and knowledge and understanding in the different areas by which we're being attacked and destroyed, and Black people who have exhibited and proven an undying love and commitment to Black people. We absolutely must have these people on board under the same umbrella, moving toward the same goal, because we're not going to make it any other way. So if you are a person who's interested in being a leadership candidate in this movement, the Black Gold Nation, because you feel like you have something to offer, you know you have something to offer, you see that we're on a bad path headed toward a moving train, and you want to give back to not just Black people today, but to ensure that what you have is benefited from for hundreds of years to come, then go to our website, blackgoldnation.com, click on solutions, go to leadership election, and complete the form to become a candidate in this election. If you want to help us find candidates for the election, go to the website, click on solutions, leadership election, and click on one of the buttons that says register to vote. You can see more about what the Black Gold Nation movement is all about. You can become a supporting member and active voter, and you can help us find other Black people that we need to build power for ourselves. What happens to us happens. What has happened to us has happened, and what is going to continue to happen to us is going to continue to happen, all because we've never had power to stop it. We don't have power to stop it, and if we don't do something, we won't have power to stop it. Everything that happens to us happens because we don't have the power to stop it. And what we're saying in the Black Gold Nation movement is that we understand that we absolutely must have power, but we know we cannot do that on our own. So we need as many Black people as we can get that understand it, that get it, that want to be a part of it, who understand that all that other stuff is simply distractions. While we are constantly falling further and further behind, our enemies who put the distractions out on purpose are moving further and further ahead. We are born into a war that we did not start, and we're over 350 years behind in preparing to fight this war. We got a lot of work to do, and we can't afford to be distracted by so much if the work is going to be done. So if you want more information about everything I just said, please go to our website, blackgoldnation.com, click on solutions, go to leadership election, and see what's there and help us make this second national leadership election a success. We're looking for leaders in multiple categories. We're looking for leaders in multiple national departments and divisions, and we're also looking for cabinet members to be a part of each national department and division. So with that, please share this with 5, 10, 15, 20 Black people whom you think might appreciate it, can learn from, who want to be a part. And let's focus less on the purposeful distractions that someone else is putting out. And let's focus more on what really matters, building power for ourselves, for our people, our children, and every generation of Black child to follow. Thank you very much. God bless you. And always remember 2 things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely, always, always, always remember that nothing is more sacred. Not you, not me, not your kids, not my kids, not your family, not my family. Nothing is more sacred than the liberation, the empowerment, the salvation, and the freedom of Black people. Because if Black people don't make it, you're not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Our kids aren't going to make it. And our families most certainly are not going to make it. So with that, thank you very much. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.